I always say that my heart beats for 3 and it makes me stronger. Reagan is my mini-me. She's Spitfire. My gymnast, cheerleader, athlete, always smiling, the center of attention, and she didn't even mean to be. Grant was my quiet, sensitive, really sweet. He was very funny. He wanted to be the best he could be at everything he did. And flag football, basketball, baseball, track.
They lit our lives for, 10 years.
On October 19th, I filed for a divorce. So 2 weeks later, his weekend to have Reagan and Grant. And so I drove him to school that morning and told him, I love him and that I would see him on Sunday. They were getting ready to trick or treat that night, and he didn't allow me to see pictures or speak to them on the phone because he said that he wanted me to feel what he feels. I started getting some text messages around 6 a.m. asking if I was coming to Van Alstyne to go to church, and knowing that I wasn't and that we had a plan to meet in McKinney at Cane's at 3 o'clock. And he kept repeating himself, saying, I need to speak to you.
I looked at her and I said, you're done with that. You don't text him, you tell him. Here's what you tell him. My dad will meet you at 3 o'clock as we agreed at Cane's in McKinney.
2:30, I got the phone call from a neighbor that lived near where our house was, and screaming and saying, your house is on fire. And I instantly knew. It was the mom instinct in me, the soon-to-be ex-wife, and I immediately said, is his car in the driveway? And she said yes. And I said, he's killing my kids.
I get a phone call from Karen. And I say, hey, what's up, babe? Dad, he's killing my kids. He's killing my kids. Dad, he's killing my kids. I said, what? Stop. What? Don't, wait. What? He's killing your kids? He's on his way to meet me. He'll be here in 20 minutes.
I hang up the phone with Duke. I call 911. I'm screaming at the dispatch here in Van Alstyne. And all these phone calls keep coming in. And Dad, I remember talking to him again. He goes, call everyone you know. Call all of Reagan and Grant's friends. He has to have dropped them off somewhere.
She said, Dad, my car is pointed out toward the road. And she's screaming. I said, so? She said, he never points out. We hide the car because we have all of our cars have been repossessed.
And then calls came in saying that the police officers were saying, please keep her there. In that moment, that is shock times a million. And I remember just sitting in my parents' living room floor in like the fetal position.
And we'll drive up out there where that house is, and the fire chief is there, Frank Baker, he's down there. But he has to go through protocol. Sir, I'm not sir, I'm Duke. Sir, we'll let you know as soon as we can let you know. No, you're not listening to me. My kids could be in there. Reagan and Grant could be in there. You know Reagan and Grant? I just got this peace that came over me like, it's okay, everything's all right. And I just felt this presence inside me that says there was somebody else. He said, sir, we have found an adult male has expired. And he said, could there be anyone else in the house? Well, you can imagine how I felt about that question, because I already said Reagan and Grant could be in there. And I looked toward the house, and here comes 4 or 5 firemen in their fire outfits walking toward me. And I'm standing at that truck And I know what they're fixing to say. Looked him square in the eye. And I'm not going to say what I said, the language I used. Did that blank blank kill my kids? Did that blank blank kill my kids? I'm screaming at him. And he looks at me as calmly as he can, puts his hand on my shoulder. And he said, "Yes, sir, Reagan and Grant are gone."
My uncle comes in. He leans down next to me and he whispers in my ear. And he says, "They're gone." My dad had called him to give me the news.
And I just look up and I said, "Lord, you gave me such a peace that they were with somebody else." And as clearly as I'm talking to you, he said, they were with somebody else. They were with me. They are with me.
I wanted to take my life. I was exhausted, I was tired, and I didn't want to be here anymore. My best friend challenged me to sign up for the Dallas BMW Half Marathon. Reagan and Grant both ran track, and I had like 2 months to train, but I was like, why not? You know, and she's like, run for Reagan and Grant. And then she was also a trail runner, so she got me out on the trails, which that is where the peace came in and where I started slowly feeling God speak to me, because I'm in His creation, in nature. That's where I started to shine and come alive.